What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. So, Caleb Williams, second year quarterback out of USC, is playing very well for my Chicago Bears, right? I'm proud to have the young man under center. He is very poised, and he's having a better year than what a lot of people predicted. Personally, he's not throwing, putting up Patrick Mahomes numbers. He's not throwing for 400 plus yards a game and throwing for 4 touchdowns a game. He's not doing that. However, what he's doing is in clutch situations, whenever we need a score, Caleb Williams is marching us downfield, moving the chains and putting us in, leading us into the end zone time and time again. In fact, Caleb Williams has led 4 game-winning drives this season alone, right? He seems to be a great teammate. His teammates love him. The fans are rallying behind him. He's just playing very well, especially, and it's stuff he has to work on still, right? He's missing some throws and stuff. But again, in the critical moments, in the pivotal moments of every game, when we need something to happen, he does it either with his arms, either with his arm or with his legs. He's elusive in a pocket, much more elusive than I ever thought, like extending plays. I'm glad I got the young man on my team as our starting quarterback, right? But despite how well Caleb Williams has been playing, you got people that still do not like him. People who still have this animus towards him. People who still just critique him and they can't get behind him for real, even though he's been winning games and in great fashion to close out the games, right? People still want to hate on him. And I know what it is. It has nothing to do with his play. It has everything to do with the nail polish that he wears on his nails, right? You got a certain demographic of men who just hate him because of the nail polish, right? I can never get behind a man who wears nail polish. It pisses them off that Caleb Williams has nail polish or whatever. Me as a man, I can never wear nail polish. That's not my thing. That's something I could ever do, right? But I recognize that the young man is different, right? A lot of these kids of recent years, they are a little different, right? But I don't give a damn what nail polish he got on. If the boy's playing well and he's winning games, I don't care about none of that. That's his prerogative. That's what he want to do. The nail polish is not going to stop me from giving praise when it's due. It's not going to stop me from giving credit when it's due. Caleb Williams deserves all credit for how he's been playing, for real. But you got a certain demographic of men, a certain generation of men who just hate the nail polish so much, they hate everything. They just hate him too, right? Some of these motherfuckers like Coach JB, what's his name? Jason Brown, that coached at Independence Community College. Come on, homeboy. Homeboy. I'm from Compton, homeboy. All that shit. Him and a lot of other individuals, they hate the nail polish so much they just can't give Caleb Williams any credit. But then I sit and I think, for all this shit about, back in my day, we were tough. We were real men. We were alpha males. We were aggressive. We were men. We didn't play that. Back in my generation, we didn't do this. We didn't do that. We didn't have no nail polish. We was real men's. We was a man's man, and we was men's men. And we was for all that shit that they talking right now. And again, I do not agree with the nail polish. That can never be my thing, right? But for all that stuff they talking about Caleb Williams, like we were men, all of that. Look at the people they idolize in the 80s and 90s. Right? The same people who hate Caleb Williams, who despise him and talk about his nail polish, are the same men who will give Dennis Rodman all the praise in the world and give him all credit for his skills as an athlete, as a basketball player, right? Dennis Rodman, look at Dennis Rodman. What Dennis Rodman got going on is way worse than anything Caleb Williams got going on at all. There's a lot of people for real, nail polish. Shit, nail polish is light compared to what Dennis Rodman used to be doing. Look at Dennis. Dennis didn't put on wedding dresses. He didn't put on blonde wigs. He didn't put up eyeliner. He didn't put on lip liner. He didn't put on mascara. He didn't put on fake eyelashes. Dennis didn't have, again, lipstick on. He didn't have blush on his face. Dennis didn't dress like my mama, your auntie now. Dennis didn't put on makeup like your girlfriend now, right? But those same men who hate Caleb Williams, who despise him, will give Dennis Rodman all credit. Oh man, Dennis, he was a hell of a basketball player, though. He was a hell of a basketball player. I mean, he was talented, though. He was rough. He was rugged. He played ball in the 90s, in the late 80s. He was tough. Dennis was a bad motherfucker, though. He was tough. He was a badass motherfucker, though. He was tough. They give Dennis all credit in the world, right? And they will give him his credit for the talents that he has. But they don't want to do the same thing for Caleb Williams. I know he's only in his second year, but they don't even want to acknowledge the improvements he's been making this year under Ben Johnson because of the nail polish. The nail polish irked them so bad. Well, damn. You give Dennis Rodman all credit, and look what the hell Dennis got going on. Man, look at what Dennis was doing. If Caleb Williams was doing what Dennis Rodman was doing, Caleb will be every slur you could think of, every type of slur you could think of, and beyond that. Beyond that. But with the worm, they just want to talk about his athletic prowess. They'll give you that, or they say stuff like, but he had them girls, though. He had them girls, though. He had Carmen Electra. And I told y'all, Dennis don't get no points for getting Carmen Electra at all to me. Because white women like Carmen Electra, they look at black men like Dennis Rodman with piercings all over their face and lipstick and an eyeliner on. And they look at men like that as exotic pets. White women like Carmen Electra look at black men, they got piercings all over their body, all over their face, and lipstick on. They look at black men like that as exotic pets. They say, oh, look at my tall Negro. Look at my 6'6", 6'7" Negro. Look at him. Just imagine what's in the lower, his lower region. That's what women, they parade men like Dennis Rodman around as exotic pets. Look at this Negro with all of these piercings and all of this body paint and all of this hair dye all in his hair. Look at my Negro, my tall Negro that I have with me on my arm. Look at him. That's getting Carmen Electra. That don't impress me at all. At all, none whatsoever. Them white women like Madonna and Carmen Electra, they look at dudes like Dennis Rodman as something they can show off for their white friends. Right? Now, it doesn't even stop at Dennis Rodman. Because I know, let's take it to a musical icon, a musical legend, Prince. Prince is a musical genius. He is exceptional, not even exceptional. He's extraordinarily talented as a musician, without question, right? And Prince wore pants with the booty out, wore pants with his ass out for everybody to see, right? Y'all know them pants. Look at that. Look at that. Wore pants with his booty out like a motherfucker, right? Prince also, I remember a video. Y'all can look the video up. Here go pictures from it. What his man is behind Prince pumping him while he on the floor and pulling Prince into his lower body region, into his lower body area. Pulling Prince into his lower body area while he's humping Prince on the ground, right? And everybody be like, shoot, Prince was he was a talented dude, though. He was a talented brother. You're willing to acknowledge his skills and his talents, but you don't want to acknowledge Caleb Williams' talents because he got nail polish on. But Prince out here wearing pants, God rest his soul. I'm not even trying to clown, but I'm just it's facts. Prince was out here with his booty out, with the pants with the booty cut out on, right? Prince was out here letting another man hump on him on the ground. And then was getting mad because Michael Jackson had that lyric talking about, your butt is mine. I'm like, get you out here. You got another man behind you pumping you on the ground and pulling you into his private region. What? If Caleb Williams was out here wearing pants with the butt cut out or having another man hump him from the back, can you imagine what they would be saying? Coach JB, Jason Brown would have lost his mind. He would have called Caleb every type of slur you could think of. Right? But I bet you Coach JB loves some Prince, and I bet you this all men cop out. Whenever you bring up Prince, whenever you bring up the wild, outlandish, androgynous behavior of Prince, all the men from that era who always talk about we was tough, we were men, we were real man's man, and we was tough, we was rugged. All the men, they'll say this, but Prince had them girls, though. He had them girls. I don't give a fuck what girl he had. Wearing pants with the booty cut out is wearing pants with the booty cut out. I don't care if he had Apollonia. I don't care if he had pineappleonia. Letting another man hump you from the back and pull you into his private area and wearing pants with the booty cut out is wearing pants with the booty cut out and letting the man hump you from the back, right? Regardless if you saw him with girls, listen, man, that's way worse than anything Caleb Williams has ever done. But you can give Prince all credit for his talents, but you can't give Caleb Williams credit for his talents. And I know some of y'all gonna say this the cop out they use. Well, Caleb Williams is playing a man's game. Prince is in entertainment. Man, fuck out of here. One, y'all get on other dudes for wearing dresses in movies and other actors. So don't give me that cop out. Well, it was in entertainment. That's why we don't get mad at Prince. No, you are infatuated. You are not infatuated. You are enamored with Prince's talent. So you let it rock. And that's what I tell everybody. People make excuses for exceptional people. People make excuses for people who they like. And if they like the person's talent, they will find excuses for it. But the very same person, another person can do something much less than another individual, and they will get on their head. They will obliterate that other person for it. And Caleb Williams just got nail polish on. He ain't wearing no pants with the butt cut out or none of that, right? So then for the excuse, Caleb Williams is playing a man's game, and Prince was an entertainer. Dennis Rodman was playing a man's game, right? He was too, and y'all let him rock out with all that crazy stuff he was doing, and y'all excused it with Dennis was a bad boy though. He a bad boy. He was the worm though. He was getting all them rebound titles though. He was rough and he was rugged. Y'all let him off the hook for that. For all that stuff he was doing. Caleb Williams out here looking like somebody's mama on a wedding day. Dennis Rodman out here looking like somebody's mama on a wedding day. Dennis out here wearing all the makeup your mama and them, your girlfriend them be wearing. All the makeup your daughter and them be wearing, that's what Dennis Rodman had on. And y'all let it rock. Because Dennis was talented. But with Caleb Williams, you getting down on him for the nail polish. You ain't gonna you're not gonna give him any credit for his talent. Because you don't like the nail polish, but you're giving Dennis credit for his talent. And I know the other cop out. Well, Dennis is a Hall of Famer. Is Caleb Williams there yet? Nah, man. Listen, who's to say he won't be? But he's playing well, and I think anybody with two eyes can acknowledge that and can acknowledge, listen, man, I ain't saying he's a Hall of Famer right now. I'm not saying he's better than Patrick Mahomes, but he's playing well, and people still don't want to give him credit for it because they don't like the nail polish. And see, me, that's corny when you will give everybody else their kudos for their talent when they've done way worse and they've dressed way more feminine and they've exhibited way more effeminate behavior than Caleb Williams. Because Prince had effeminate behavior all the way around. I don't care. When I was a little boy, and I'm not even trying to talk about anybody that's gay or not. If you are gay, that's your business. I'm not trying to clown you or scold you for your lifestyle choices at all, right? I'm just being for real. When I was young, I used to think Prince was gay when I looked at him. Because I was like, what he got going on? He was very effeminate. But people, every time, if a younger dude from my generation was to do what Prince was doing, they would call him all type of slurs. But because Prince is talented and he made great music, they're making excuses for Prince doing it. He had them girls, though. He had them girls, though. He had them girls. All right, man. I don't even think Prince was gay. I'm just saying he just showed that androgynous behavior. But I do want to remind y'all, it's a lot of gay dudes out here that had a lot of girls too. Just letting y'all know that. But anyway, and I'm not even calling Prince gay at all. I don't think he was gay. I'm just making a point, right? Same generation, the same people who hate Caleb Williams for the nail polish. They will love the Isley brothers. And look at this brother here from the Isley brothers with this halter top on. Look at that, right? Now, if you show a dude from the older generation, he is still here making an excuse. Well, but still, though, they were singing the girls, though. They were singing to them girls, though. To them girls, though. And I'm like, all right, you going to let the halter top slide because they were singing to them girls, though. Between the sheets, they were talking to them girls, to them women. You don't think Caleb Williams got women, too? He's a starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And he plays for the city of Chicago, the third largest city in America. You don't think Caleb Williams got some nice looking women too? Right now, he might got some snow bunnies, but you don't think he got some nice looking women too? Let's be for real, you know? I'm just saying, right? But brothers will let the brother from the Isley brothers with the halter top, they'll let him slide and be like, you got to understand, they still had them girls though. I thought y'all was rough and tough and rugged and men's men. I thought y'all was animals and behemoths back in the day. What the hell? Back in my day, we was this is Judge Joe Brown. This is Judge Joe Brown voice. Back in my day, we were tough. We were men's men, and we knew how to play the dozens. I knew I could be a real man. I was strong, and I was rough, and I was rugged, and I was tough. And we didn't show this effeminate behavior. And then me as a 32-year-old, I say, oh, really? Y'all didn't? Well, damn, man, matter of fact, let's talk about one of the greatest groups of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Brother that plays the bass guitar, right? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Verdine White. Verdine been looking like somebody's grandmama forever. I'm talking about with the fake eyebrows on them, their hairstyle like a woman, lips be pursed up and all. You know, and again, this is an older brother, and people be like, but shoot, Earth, Wind, and Fire, they was some bad musicians, though. They was talented. He was cold, though, because Verdine White was excellent. Like playing that bass guitar was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Verdine was phenomenal. Without question, right? But look at Verdine, though. Verdine been looking like somebody's grandmama for forever since he was 29. He been looking like somebody's grandmama. Them brothers will still give Verdine credit for his talents and his gifts that God gave him and the gifts that he honed. But they won't give Caleb Williams credit for his gifts on a football field because he got on nail polish. And Verdine out here looking like somebody's auntie, grandmama, somebody's stepmama. He been looking like that for the longest of time. Verdine been looking like a geriatric vampire, a geriatric female vampire forever. And people let it rock. Because Verdine talent, he got that talent, he got that gift. That boy bad though. One of the best bass guitarists ever, bassists ever. He played that bass guitar like no other. He phenomenal. They give him all the credit, right? Verdine had them lips pursed up and them eyebrows drawn on, and they let it rock. But if Caleb Williams was doing that, he would be every name under the sun. And my purpose in making this video is not even to really get down on those men I'm talking about or to clown them. I'm just pointing out blatant hypocrisy. You don't want to give Caleb Williams credit for his abilities and his talents because he got on nail polish and that's gay. That's feminine. But look at the men that y'all worship all in this video I named. Verdine White. The Isley brother. Look at the brother with the halter top on from the Isley brothers. Prince and Dennis Rodman. Right? So what are we talking about here, man? I'll rest my case. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm glad Caleb Williams is our quarterback of the future. I'm rooting for him. And I can't wait to see how his career pans out in Chicago. Go Bears. No, matter of fact, not go Bears. Bear down. Bear down. You hear me? The Bears. Peace.